Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Carmen McBride. My pronouns are she and her. Welcome to First Unitarian Church, where our mission is to explore the eternal, nurture community, and pursue the common good. We welcome you in your brokenness and in your wholeness. No matter who you have been, who you are, or who you are becoming, we greet you today with love. I'd like to extend a special welcome to everyone who is watching us on YouTube this morning. Please introduce yourself in the comments section and let us know where you're watching from. If you're in OKC, what neighborhood? Or if you're elsewhere, what city are you in? Welcome to First Unitarian. And now the prelude prepares us for worship. What a beautiful prelude. We light our chalice in Midtown, Oklahoma City, on land that was home to first Americans, including the Apache, Caddo, and Wichita, on land that was taken from the Muskogee and Seminole and other removed and relocated peoples. We light the chalice as a symbol of our sacred time together. The burning chalice represents the light of reason and science, the warmth of loving community, the cleansing heat of justice, and the flame of hope.
And thank you to the McCandless family for lighting our chalice this morning. So welcome. My name is Tim Atkins, and I serve as your Director of Lifespan Religious Exploration. This is our annual multi-generational holiday service, and given that it's December 22nd today, we're going to focus on Yule and the solstice. Happy Yule, everyone. A popular winter holiday in Scandinavia features a little girl by the name of Saint Lucia, celebrated on the longest night. In Scandinavian countries, each town elects its own Saint Lucia. The festival begins with a procession led by the St. Lucia designee, who is followed by young girls dressed in white and wearing lighted wreaths on their heads, and boys dressed in white pajama-like costumes singing traditional songs. The festival marks the beginning of the Christmas season in Scandinavia, and it is meant to bring hope and light during the darkest time of the year. Families observe St. Lucia's Day in their homes by having one of their daughters, traditionally the eldest, dress in white and serve coffee and baked goods, such as saffron bread and ginger biscuits, to the other members of the family. These traditional foods are given to visitors during the day. In earlier centuries, the Norse celebrated the winter solstice with large bonfires meant to scare off evil spirits and to alter the course of the sun. After converting to Christianity sometime around 1000, the Norse incorporated the legend of Saint Lucia into their celebration. The modern Festival of Light combines elements of both pagan and Christian traditions. Our story that is woven throughout today's service is a creative retelling of the St. Lucia story that inspires St. Lucia Day. We will pause during various parts of the story for reflections because, after all, the best stories are the ones that make us think. So let us begin with our call to worship in celebration of the winter solstice by Stephanie Noble. Do not be afraid of the darkness. Dark is the rich, fertile earth that cradles the seed, nourishing growth. Dark is the soft night that cradles us to rest. Only in darkness can stars shine across the vastness of space. Only in darkness is the moon's dance so clear. There is mystery woven in the dark, quiet hours. There is magic in the darkness. Do not be afraid. We are born of this magic. It fills our dreams that root, unravel, and reweave themselves in the shelter of the deep, dark night. The dark has its own hue, its own resonance, its own breath. It fills our soul, not with despair, but with promise. Dark is the gestation of our deep and knowing self. Dark is the cave where we rest and renew our soul. We are born of the darkness, and each night we return to the deep, moist womb of our beginnings. Do not be afraid of the darkness, for in the depth of that very darkness comes a glimpse of our own light, that pure inner light of love and knowing. As it glows and glows, the darkness recedes. As we shed our light, we shed our fear, and revel in the wonder of all that is revealed. So do not rush the coming of the sun. Do not crave the lengthening of the day. Celebrate the darkness, here and now, a time of richness, a time of joy. And now let's spread some joy right here and now. Take a few moments to say good morning to someone you're sitting by, preferably someone you did not come with. When you hear the music begin for our first hymn, come on back and start joining us in singing. All right, let's come on back. Join us in singing number 241.
In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan. Earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow. sweet water, words can never tell. In the bleak midwinter, in this world of pain, where our hearts are open, love is born again.
I'd now like to invite Courtney and Annie up to read part 1 of our story.
Lucia and her mother and baby brother lived with a velvet brown cow and a milk white cat in a little house at the foot of the mountains in the far north. The cow gave milk, the cat slept by the fire, and the baby cooed and grew by the hearth. They were happy together even when the winter snow piled up outside their door. One year, the wind blew down the mountain fiercer than it ever had before. The wind screamed so loud, sometimes Lucia could not hear her mother humming as she rocked the baby by the fire. Frost covered the nail heads in the walls, and the wind sneaked in through the cracks and tossed the last of the flour in the flour barrel around, so it seemed to snow inside as well as out. One day, the sun did not rise over the mountaintop, and the next day, and the next, and the next. Not a glimmer of sun shone, no matter how long. Lucia watched for the sunrise. Dark roosted in the land.
Where's the light gone?
Lucia asked. I don't know, her mother replied. Even the oldest tales never told of this darkness. She wrapped Lucia in her arms. We'll be each other's sun until the sun returns, she said. As the dark days went on, the baby began to fret and fuss, and the cow gave less and less milk until one day she was dry as a stone. The fire smoked and shivered and refused to heat the corners of the house or bake the bread. At last, Lucia could stand it no longer.
I will go out and look for the sun.
She said to her mother.
Perhaps it has lost its way.
It's too cold and dark, said her mother, and there may be trolls. My grandmother told me when she was a girl, in the bitterest of winters, the trolls came down from the mountain and stole the chickens and the pigs and even a child. Lucia shivered and hugged her baby brother close. Still, she said,
Don't worry, Mama. I'll find the sun and be back in time for breakfast.
though how could anyone tell what time breakfast was in this dark? I can't let you go. We will live without the sun if we must, said Lucia's mother. The baby wailed thin and high, and Lucia's mother shushed him. Lucia made up her mind to do something, anything, to find the sun and bring it home again. At last, when her mother, rocking the baby, fell into a fitful sleep, Lucia put on the warmest socks, hat, and mittens her mother had knit, pulled on her boots, buttoned up her coat, and wrapped her scarf around her neck. Into one pocket, she slipped a stale crust of bread. Into the other pocket, she put a tinder box, for who knew when she might have need of a fire to keep her warm. She kissed her sleeping mother's cheek, the baby's fine, soft hair, the milk-white cat, and even the cow. But when Lucia opened the door, the cat jumped from the windowsill into her hood and went into the swirling snow with her. Lucia was glad for the company and the warmth of the milk-white cat around her neck. Lucia strapped on her skis and set off up the mountain where the sun used to rise. The pale light of the stars showed her the way.
Ah, the holidays. Just when we were getting over the slower pace of summer, along came Halloween, and then, bam, Christmas. Or at least it seems that way. You know the season starts earlier than ever, even before Halloween. Everywhere you look, ads entice you with deals to buy now before they sell out. Is your inbox filled with too many to count emails like mine? They would have offers about saving 50% off this, buy one, get one, today only. Who can keep up? I work hard to hit delete, delete, delete. But sometimes I have to open it up to see exactly what it is that I am missing out a deal on, or what I can't live without. And so it begins, that oh so happy, stressful time of year, to make sure the holidays are just right. Decorating the house inside and out, shopping for the perfect gift, how many gifts to buy, will everyone like their gifts, what to cook, how to divide the time between family, in-laws, friends. And can I pack in one more party, one more concert, one more event? End of year donations, and the list goes on. These are the things we adults think about. Kids have a little different perspective. Growing up, I remember piling in the car with my sister and brother in the back seat, Mom and Dad in the front, on our quest for that perfect tree, usually at Coit's tree lot. Once we got the tree home, we had to wait a day or two to acclimate it before we could decorate. But it was a special time for us. Putting up the lights, the shiny bright ornaments, the ones from friends and family, and those that we made at school. We looked forward to getting a package from our Oma and Opa in Germany filled with sweets and treats and other gifts. Our parents often hosted holiday parties. Those were highlights for us. The three of us would hide giggling under the table while everyone else was around getting their goodies, and as soon as they left, boy, we hit that table. And as in Germany, Christmas Eve was present opening time. After all, St. Nick had to start early somewhere, so those could make the rounds all doing the world deliveries. We were oblivious to stress. Through the years, and having my own children, having more has changed to having less, and working to create experiences more than gifts under the tree. Do we need to have a perfect holiday season? And what does that mean anyway? I'm reminded of one of my favorite Christmas movies, It's a Wonderful Life. It comes on every Christmas Eve, and Jimmy Stewart's character, George Bailey, has just received terrible news. His uncle has lost the money at the bank, and his stress level has gone way over here. George tells Clarence, his guardian angel, he wishes he'd never been born. So Clarence obliges and takes him on a journey of what his life would have been like if he hadn't been born. And then he finally realizes what a wonderful life he really had. A life filled with people who loved, cared about, and respected him. His wife and children, the townspeople, and especially his younger brother, who he sacrificed much for. So what can we do with our stress and fears of what may happen? Like Lucia in the story Courtney and Annie shared, going out in the cold and dark to find the sun, she has hope and determination. She and the cat will find a way to return the sun to the land, to help her family, her mom and baby brother, and the cow, and her community. This is something Lucia has the need to do. It is her sacrifice of leaving the safety of her home. A couple of days ago, as I was in the kitchen making my lunch and thinking about all the things I needed to do, I spotted a flash of red out of the corner of my eye on the deck railing. So I inched a little closer and to the window above the sink, and I saw a big, bright red, beautiful cardinal. And lucky me, there was not one, but two. So that was a joy for me to see, and also it immediately released any stress that I had. Joy, the smile on my mother's face when her eyes light up. My grandnephew Elliot's excitement at wondering what we want for our Christmas stockings. More joy. Our Christmas Eve service with one candle lit and then another and another and another until we have all candles glowing in the cold, dark night. Our voices singing, "Silent night, holy night, joy, joy, joy." Giving back by volunteering in the community, joy. Take time to find the joy amidst the stress, or perhaps it will find you. And so the true meaning of the season can be found in the joy of doing what works for you in this time of darkness and of light, and of a little baby lying in a manger, of being together, just as the Grinch finally realized, maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from the store. Maybe, perhaps, it means a little bit more. It's about to skip to the other side. Every Sunday, we take an offering. Since 2002, all the cash and designated checks from that offering have gone directly to external nonprofit organizations doing good work, our Change for Change recipients. December's Change for Change partner is the UUSC, Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. For those of you who are in the sanctuary with us today, in just a moment, we'll be passing the offering plate. And if you're watching us online, please make your gift by sending a check to First Unitarian Church, putting Change for Change in the memo line, or make an online payment through our website, oneuc.org.
I'd now like to invite Charlie Perriam up to continue part 2 of our story.
Our story continues. Up and up the mountain, Lucia skied. Shoosh, shoosh, the air growing icier as she went. Time seemed frozen. Lucia's fingers were sticks of ice. Surely days had passed while she pushed her skis up the mountain. She shoved her hands into her pockets to warm them and felt something hard. Bread. The crust from the last loaf of bread her mother had baked in the fretful fire. It was frozen as her fingers, but softened as she held it in her mouth, and was the sweetest thing Lucia had ever tasted. She shared bits with the milk-white cat, who mewed his thanks and licked at Lucia's mitten. Lucia knew that as long as her legs would carry her, she would continue up the mountain. Shoosh, shoosh. The snow squeaked beneath her skis. Her breath froze on her hair in clouds of ice. Icicles hung from the trees like frozen tears. Even the sparrows hid under their wings. Shoosh, shoosh. The trail grew steeper. The path led Lucia into a stand of trees where even the starlight couldn't shine. Lucia's skis slipped and she fell. The snow was soft, almost as soft as her feather bed back home. Lucia closed her eyes. The milk-white cat nipped Lucia's chin, but Lucia kept on dreaming. If she were home, warm in her own soft bed, she would sleep and sleep and sleep. The milk-white cat nipped Lucia's chin again. Ow! Lucia had almost fallen asleep in the snow, just like old Bjorn, who had been found last winter frozen stiff as hard as cordwood. Lucia rubbed the heaviness from her eyes and hugged the milk-white cat, then tucked him back into her hood. Shoosh, 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 shoosh. At last, Lucia and the milk-white cat came out of the trees and reached the top of the mountain. All they could see were rocks, ice, straggly bushes, and the far edge of the mountain falling into darkness. Lucia's heart fell too. Where was the sun? Then a rock moved, and another. A rock sprouted an arm, 2 arms. Rocky heads with stony eyes rose up from the ground. Many heads, many eyes, all watching Lucia. Not rocks, trolls. The trolls crowded around Lucia. Lumpy figures poked at her. Supper? Roared a troll with branches growing from his ears. No, lunch, shouted a troll with mossy teeth. Breakfast, screeched a troll with icicles hanging from his nose. The trolls stomped their feet and screamed with laughter. The ground shook. The milk-white cat hissed. Please, Lucia whispered, do you know where the sun has gone? Trolls found sun sleeping, shouted one troll. Wrap sun in a blanket so sun can't get out, shouted another. Now trolls never have to hide, crowded another. We eat anytime we want. Little girl want sun? Asked one troll. Oh yes, please, whispered Lucia. Come and get it, the troll teased, kicking a bunch of rags at Lucia. Not a gleam of light shone out of the rags. How could anything so small and shabby be the sun?
So the winter solstice has become increasingly meaningful to me over the past few years. There's something about the metaphor that really speaks to me on a personal level. We've reached the point of the longest night, of the deepest darkness. The upside is that it's bound to get better from here. The downside is that we're at rock bottom, and that there are some pretty scary things that can lurk in the night. The concept of trolls is rooted in Scandinavian mythology. Trolls were seen as mythological creatures that represented the worst traits humans can have. Although each troll is different, trolls across myths share 2 common traits. 1, trolls are never helpful to humans. And 2, they thrive in the dark. In fact, the light can turn trolls into stone. We all have modern day trolls that we face when we're at our lowest of lows in the darkest of night. Everyone is battling their own set of trolls, and each person's battle is no worse than anyone else's. Some people in this very room are in their darkest of times right now as they battle against trolls of disease, or others are facing trolls of depression. Others are facing the towering troll of financial struggle. I myself have battled against the troll of guilt more times than I care to admit. Each person's set of trolls is different from everyone else's, but there are a few trolls that seem to pop up over and over again this time of year to try to keep us from the sun. Today I want to talk about three in particular: the troll of uncertainty, the troll of grief, and the troll of loneliness. Uncertainty is a troll that haunts us at every stage in life. In school, we worry that we're not smart enough or popular enough. In college, we worry that we don't know what we're going to do with the rest of our lives. In our young adulthood, we doubt we'll ever make it like the generations before us. In adulthood, we doubt that we've got it all together like we're supposed to. If we're parents, we doubt we're doing the right thing for our kids about 500 times a day. In our senior years, we doubt if we've lived the life we truly wanted to live. And right now, a whole lot of us are battling with the uncertainty of what comes next politically. That's a troll we've seen before, maybe a little less gray and a little more orange, lumbering toward us that we're going to be battling against once more. And that uncertainty is rocking so many of us deep down to our core. Grief. Grief is a troll that will follow us for months and years. We all suffer from and mourn loss, and this time of year especially, we grieve so much. Being isolated, unable to see our friends and family like we want to this time of year, we all mourn and we all grieve for our losses and the losses of others. This time of year especially, grief can rise up from unexpected places as we climb the mountain and remind us all of what we've lost. Grief can truly be the gift that keeps on giving and can be the most resilient troll we face. This is a time of year where the troll of loneliness can seem too big to overcome. We see images all over about celebrating the winter holidays with our families, and even our common carols lift this up. But what if you don't really have a home to go to for the holidays? What if the home you're in hasn't been a safe place for you? What if you live alone and rely on regularly seeing friends and family this time of year? It's hard. Each carol or fanciful commercial can seem like a lumbering troll, reminding you of your loneliness, reminding you of a time when you were surrounded by the warmth of family all those years ago in an easier time. We all suffer from loneliness at times. People can feel lonely in marriages, at school, surrounded by classmates, sitting in a sanctuary, surrounded by love. All of us, from age 2 to age 122, can be struck by the troll of loneliness. And when you feel like you're the only one fighting against the trolls in the longest night, it's far too easy to lose hope. We are all battling against our own trolls right now. So I invite you to think of what trolls you're facing during this longest night and lift them up silently in your heart. Thank you. May we all find comfort in knowing that we aren't alone battling the trolls of the darkest night. Now let's take a moment to breathe together in the spirit of prayer or meditation. And let's take a few deep breaths together as we contemplate the trolls we're facing right now in our lives. Our prayer today is by Linda Hart. In the quiet of these moments, let us take a common breath, unclench, and open to each other and the Holy One we call by many names. We arrive in these moments bearing the whole of our lives. We bring with us the worries and troubles of our days, sometimes overwhelming, loss beyond words, pain and struggle known only in the deepest place of our hearts. Here, in the quiet, joined with each other, may we release our hearts from them, find a moment of peace. We come to these moments with the freshness of love, the grace of small treasures, with hope and faith, knowing well the promise of the dawning day, even in the longest of nights. Here in the quiet, may we lift up our hearts in gratitude for the gifts of our lives, pausing in thanksgiving. It is written that to everything there is a season, and in our hearts we know that it is true. As the earth spirals towards the solstice, let us open to the blessed darkness, praising renewal that comes as the light slowly returns. Amen, and blessed be. I'd now like to invite our choir for our anthem.
A few words about the piece you're about to hear. In most countries, the winter solstice is considered the midwinter. In the northern hemisphere, it occurs between December 20th and 23rd. In the southern hemisphere, between June 20 and 23rd. Winter solstice refers to the night when the sun's arc reaches its lowest point on the horizon. And the text of the music says, in the midwinter, when the air is chill, on the horizon the sun stands still. After December's full moon so bright, so it will be the year's longest night. Stars will align and they will leave their mark, showing the point of the sun's new arc. From this day forward, its path will ascend. Hours of daylight grow longer again. This is the winter solstice. Follow the path of the sun. This is the winter solstice. Now the new path has begun.
I'd now like to invite Rosalina Wagner up to read part 3 of our story. Rosalina, thank you.
continues. Lucia reached for the rag ball. A troll foot kicked it away. Lucia reached for the ball again. Another foot kicked it away. Another foot kicked it, sorry. And another and another. Lucia stumbled through a maze of troll legs. A leg showed out in front of her. Splunk! She fell face down in the snow. Something hard poked at Lucia's ribs. The tinder box. Wait, Lucia cried through chattering teeth. That ball of rags is not the sun. Trolls have sun, the trolls thundered. Trolls have sun. Lucia's heart beat fast, but she chambered to her knees and pulled off her mittens. She took the tinderbox from her pocket, then tried to strike a spark. Scritch, scritch, the trolls leaned in closer. Lucia's fingers shook. Scritch, scritch. Blue sparks skittered and died, blue like her mother's apron, blue like her baby brother's eyes. Lucia struck harder. Scritch, 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 scritch. A spark caught on the dry moss in the tinderbox. A little flame bloomed, warming Lucia's fingers, the way the fire back home used to. Look, Lucia stood and held out the box. I have the sun right here. The trolls peered inside. That's not the sun, a troll howled, and he knocked the tinderbox from Lucia's hands. Flames sputtered across the snow and died. Eat her now. Get sun, catch the possums for dinner. But the milk-white cat was quicker than the trolls. He leaped from Lucia's hood and batted the rag ball out of reach. Faster and faster the ball rolls, rags unwinding behind it like ribbons on the snow. Stop, stop, the trolls screamed. The last rag unrolled. The blanket fell off. The sun blazed forth, dazzlingly bright, dazzlingly bright. Lucia covered her eyes. Crack! All around Lucia, trolls turned to stone. Shadows stretched black across the snow. Like a wheel, the sun rolled on, right off the edge of the mountaintop and up into the sky, growing bigger and brighter as it climbed. Black sky paled to cozy dawn. The mountaintops glowed. Hope.
Hi. Sup? I'm short. If you don't know, my name is Loriana, pronouns she, her, hers. I am a short African-American woman wearing a maroon top and black scarfy-warfy thing. I'm here to talk to you today about the fact that the last few weeks I have been grumpy. Very, very grumpy. You don't believe it, you say? No, I even wrote that in the script. Really, you don't believe me? I know it seems strange, but even I can get grumpy and discouraged. As Yule approached, I thought I wasn't going to be able to be with my dear friends. There were cancellations. My family is also super busy. I was helping to plan a meal and, well, fudge, that didn't happen. So I would go outside in the backyard with my puppy, shivering in the cold, feeling all alone, losing hope. I looked at the dead grass and the leafless trees and shivered in the cold air. I felt all alone, like Charlie Brown. But then my puppy would hop over to me and wag her tail, giving a cheerful bark, and I'd remember there are happy moments. Yeah, it's like super cold out here, like 37 degrees or whatever, but the sun is still high in the sky at this moment, and I have my sweet Shasta puppy. But somehow, though I didn't realize that it was coming, I had opportunities to hang out with dear friends. Just this Monday, I hung out with friends. On Thursday, I hung out with family. On Friday, I got to go to lunch with my husband. Some more friends and I were able to come together just yesterday on Yule, and we feasted, and we talked, and we shared stories, and we laughed. My hope was renewed. Each day was better and better. My grumpiness was overtaken by the light and love of hugs. Yule often brings sparks of hope in people, because if you can get through it, the longest night of the year, the darkest time, you know each day is going to be brighter and brighter. Yule reminds us how strong we are, how capable we are, how much we have because of our relationships to each other and to the earth. This longest night brings fire in the fireplace, candles lit on tables, warm cider, and meals shared. Family and friends tell stories. They share gifts. They remember those who we love who aren't with us. We welcome in new friends. Yule brings hope with the birth of the sun god. Yule brings hope with the survival of the longest night. Every day will be a little brighter, have more possibilities to do and to be. Every day is more active and creative, more playful and joyful. Every day the sun shines longer and longer. Warmth will grow. The earth will spring alive again. The sun god is reborn. And now, please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing hymn 244, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear.
It came upon the midnight clear, the glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. Peace on the earth to all goodwill, from heaven the news we bring. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. Still through the cloven skies they come, with peaceful wings unfurled, and till their heavenly music floats o'er all the weary world. Above in sad and lonely plains they bend on hovering wing, and ever o'er its babel sounds the blessed angels sing. But with the woes of war and strife, the world has suffered long. Beneath the angels' strain have rolled 2,000 years of wrong. And we who fight the wars hear not the love song which they bring. Oh, hush the noise of battle strife, and hear the angels sing. For lo, the days are hastening on, by prophet bards foretold, when with the ever-circling years comes round the age of gold.
And now I'd like to invite Liliana Rydberg up to conclude our story.
Our story concludes. Lucia lifted her face to the sun. Light and warmth poured over her. Lucia picked up the little milk-white cat and kissed his fur, as silky and soft as her baby brother's hair. "Good kitty," Luisa said. Good kitty." Back down the mountain, Lucia skied through a forest of trolls and a forest of trees. The milk-white cat tucked into her hood. Her pale blue shadow raced ahead of her. Swoosh, swoosh, sparrows woke up and hopped in the pine branches, shaking snow on Lucia's hair. Down and down the mountain, Lucia followed her own tracks all the way home, where pink smoke curled from the chimney. Sunlight followed Lucia through the front door and poured across the floor, as warm and sweet as honey. A fire blazed on the hearth, and the baby cooed and clapped to see Lucia. "I thought I had lost you," her mother cried, sweeping Lucia into a hug. "And then the sun came up, and I knew you would come home, my brave child." Lucia's mother held her close. "My sunshine," she whispered, "light of my heart." The end. May the light of the season enter all of our hearts, not just today, but every day over the new year. Amen and blessed be. And now please join us in singing song number 235, "Deck the Halls." Thank you.
Deck the hall with boughs of holly, la 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 la. It's the season to be jolly, la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, la 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 la. Throw the ancient Yuletide carol, la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us, la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure, la 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 la. While I tell of Yuletide treasure, la 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 la. Fast away the old year passes, la 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 la. The new ye lads and lasses, la 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 la. Sing we joyous all together, la 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 la. Heedless of the wind and weather, la 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 la.
We extinguish our chalice flame, but not the light of love and community which burns in our hearts.
I now, you may go ahead and sit down. I'd like to invite President Kathy Webster up to make an important announcement. Kathy?
Greetings, one and all. In French, there's an expression, version of more things change, more things stay the same, like plus ça change, plus c'est la même chose. I'm feeling that way. My presidency is colored, infused with change. Right? This is a time of change for all of us in the congregation, and I bring today yet another change that lays before us. Our dear Abuka, choir director, has accepted a fantastic opportunity to be an assistant tenure track professor at Langston University. As someone who has made her career in higher education, this is no small feat, and we are all thrilled for Ebuka, Dr. Ebuka. However, it means he will need to step down from his role with us. And anybody who's been a tenure-track assistant professor knows why. So we will wish him well. All the best. As I said to him in his email when he formally announced his resignation, his star is on the rise, and we're happy to have been part of that trajectory. Ebuka, would you like to say anything at this time?
I'm gonna try so hard to hold the tears back, because this congregation has been part of my life for what seems like a long time, and it's hard to let go. But as a big MCU fan, and as Tony Stark would say, the end is part of the journey. And so the 29th, next Sunday, is going to be my final Sunday as choir director here. And it's weird because no university hires in the spring, but I guess that's my luck. Normally I would have had to wait for 6 more months or 8 more months before beginning, but that's how important Langston University thinks I am to start me in the spring. And I already know I'm going to be teaching 4 classes. The workload is crazy. I cannot break my lease where I leave. I have 5 more months on my lease, so there's a lot of things that are conditioning why I will not be able to continue as choir director here, because I don't want to give a half-baked service. You all know how it's been. You all know how we've all sung together, how we've made memories together. That is how I want to leave this place. That is how I want you to remember my time here. And whoever is going to continue, give them the same support you gave me, the same guidance, the same encouragement, the same forthrightness that you gave me. And I will always carry all of you in my heart. I will carry this church in my heart. And I will bring my choir here to perform too. So this is not goodbye, this is see you next time. Because the connection has been built and we will keep it that way. Thank you.
We have one other quick announcement. Next week is our annual, or the return of our annual stone soup service. You are invited to bring pre-cut veggies or meat or spices to the kitchen in Daniel Hall before the service. Please do not keep them with you during the service. And our benediction on this Yule is On This Winter Night by Mary Gear. Infinite web of life, spirit of love, great mystery that is darkness. On this darkest night, may we observe the stars. On this longest night, may we find rest. On this winter night, may we feel warmth. On this night, this magical night, may our minds see the infinity of space. May our bodies find rest, and may our spirits feel the warmth of community. May this be so. Blessed be, Amen, Happy Yule, and Merry Christmas.